Y'all ain't know how to step with Marcus J is live. We got a hot show for y'all. We got ladies in the building, including the dating pool diva. We got a what the hell segment we getting into. We want to know what y'all think about all kinds of stuff. We got an NFL player that got his house trashed. We got slavery themed field trips. We going to know what you think about prenuptial agreements. We got a good show for y'all tonight. We can't wait for y'all to hear it. Ain't no half stepping where Marcus J is right now. Yeah.
It's about that time. It's about that time to get. Yeah.
Button your lip, open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up and scores at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If you're lying, then you must be half stepping. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live, y'all. Be down with us tonight by phone at 804-402-2893 to be down with the flagship show right here on LegacyInternetRadio.com. 804-402-2893. Definitely glad that we have the listeners here listening to us tonight. We see y'all out there on MixLR. Y'all always there to hold us down since way back when we first started the show. We appreciate the support we're getting from you folks there. We see you on TuneIn, our new partnership that we got with the folks at TuneIn. So we're happy to have you guys there as well. So thank you so much. Ain't no half step with Marcus J. Heard here every single Monday night, live from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and replayed every single Friday. I'm definitely glad. We got a live show for y'all tonight, as I teased here in the first segment before we got live. We're going to talk about the NFL player, the former NFL player whose house got trashed. We want to talk about a slavery-themed field trip. We're going to get into the Diva Diaries with the dating pool diva in the later segments. We're going to talk about prenuptial agreements. We want to know how you treat your man as well. So we got a lot to get into tonight, so we're not going to waste some time. We're going to get into the introductions. I want to start by introducing the ladies that we have in the building. First lady we got is Miss Brandy joining us. What's going on, girl?
Not a thing. How are you?
Doing fabulous. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Not a problem.
We appreciate it. Keeping it moving. We got the dating pool diva in the building with us. What's going on?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous.
Good.
Fabulous. And of course, one of the mainstays here on Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J. We got S.Y. Butler in the building. What's up, girl?
Hello, darling.
How are you?
I'm wonderful, darling.
You still mad at me?
Well, ask me later.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm probably going to piss you off again tonight, though. You know that, right?
Oh, no, I might piss you off tonight.
Oh, shiggity. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to continue with our introductions. And, of course, my main man on my left-hand side, I got my brother, Big Ro.
Yo.
Big Ro.
Yo.
What's up, brother?
Nothing, man. Just chilling.
How you doing, man?
I'm great today. It's a great day.
It's great. Well, you know what? We changed the format to Ain't No Half Step with Marcus J. We want to make it more universally friendly so that the ladies can not wait till 8 o'clock before they turn us on. So we're not going to bore them with long diatribes about football and all of that kind of stuff. But you know what? You got something on your mind. I got something on my mind. You're going to say your statement. I'm going to say mine, and we'll be done with it. The first thing was the last thing that you had just mentioned to me that we both can kind of, be on the same page with what went on in the Bronx yesterday. Why don't you tell me what your thoughts on the retirement of Mariano Rivera, New York Yankees?
Greatest of all time, period.
That's it. And you don't even have to say no more. The Yankees don't win 5 World Series titles in the last 15 years, 17 years actually, without him. They not only retired his number, but they gave him a great ceremony. He had his tour around the Major League Baseball ballparks all this season, and it culminated with the Yankees losing yesterday in the Bronx. A miserable season is probably going to be ended in the next couple of days. Why don't you tell me how you felt about what went on in the gridiron yesterday? Your team is 0-3, as is mine. What's your thoughts on the Washington Redskins?
We almost there. You know, people want to bash, but we almost there. And we play in the NFC East, so I figure we got some time. Because so what? The lead is 2-1. We know that can change in an instant. A la 7-game winning streak last year to win the NFC East. I'm not hating today.
You could not hate today, but you know what? Marcus J has a very, very, very different take on his team. New York Football Giants are 0-3, and I swear to God, I ain't never in my entire life been more embarrassed to be a fan of the New York Football Giants than I am right now. Pure blasphemy. Pure, absolute
That was terrible.
blasphemy. It's not even about yesterday. It really isn't. You got your ass kicked 38-0, and anytime I turn the game off before halftime is bad. I turned it off before halftime and took a freaking nap. Okay, I took a nap, man.
I'm feeling the same way about my team.
I mean, the Steelers is bad. I know the Steelers is bad, but I'll give you a chance to get in on the Steelers. But you know what? When you get sacked 7 times in the first half, 5 in the first quarter, when it took you 8 games to get sacked 6 times last year. The offensive line is terrible. You got nothing on the ground. You got nothing in the air. The Giants are an embarrassment, absolute embarrassment. And to see the Dallas Cowboys leading the division 2-1 and playing football like they are the number 1 team in the division, it annoys the hell out of me. I hate the Cowboys, but I got to tell you, they look pretty damn good, especially when their quarterback, Tony Romo, leads the league in passing percentage, and our quarterback leads the league in freaking interceptions. It's an embarrassment. I'm done with that. I don't talk about them no more. That's why you said that you had some issues with your Steelers. What's your thoughts on the Steelers?
I'm feeling a little bad, and yesterday they made me say, you know what, I'm gonna retire from football after watching this. Because they're not winning a damn thing for me.
They're embarrassing.
They're embarrassing me.
So you got the Giants, you got the New York Football Giants, you got the Washington Redskins, Minnesota Vikings, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, all nationally followed teams. They all 0-3. They're all embarrassing their fans, and I don't think they warrant any more talk from us here on Ain't No How Steppin' with Marcus J. So we're going to transition from that, and we're going to get into some what the hell, y'all. What the hell? First question I'm going to ask, and what the hell? I'm getting this from USA Today. Keeping with the National Football League theme, this story, that's why I want you in on this one first. And ladies, I want you to follow up with her before I get Big Rube on this one. You got a former National Football League player, former NFL player, who his house over the Labor Day weekend served as the party house. And I'm getting this from the USA Today. I'm not going to read the article. I'm just going to paraphrase it as I know the story. Basically, you got a former NFL player, and I'm looking for his name, former New England Patriot lineman Brian Holloway. That's his name, 54-year-old guy. He's in Florida, and his home is left exposed while he's in Florida. And 300 kids crash his house and have a party in his house while he ain't there. They say that his son let him in, but his son wasn't even in the town. Okay? 300 kids crash his house, and they caused $20,000 worth of damage. Graffiti, broken windows, urine-soaked carpets. And you want to know how he found out? He found out because seeing it on Twitter live as it was happening. These little bastards was posting this stuff while it was going on, right? And so he's seeing it. He's in Florida, and his house is, I'll read the article, I'll find out where his house is, but it ain't Florida, okay? And he's seeing this happen as it's going on. And so now he's just infuriated, and all of these kids is partying in his house. It's Labor Day weekend. So he comes home. He's trying to get it cleaned up. The police are involved, 300 kids. A lot of them jackasses are identified because they put it on Twitter and Facebook and all of this kind of stuff. And so a couple of quick things I want to kind of point out about it to have it completely laid out. That's why before I have you comment, he has given those children an opportunity to make this right, 300 kids, by inviting him to the house to help him clean up the house. You would think, the parents realizing that your kid did this, right, that you would be on board with this. 300 kids showed up to tear up his house. 3 showed up to help him clean it up. 3. Now, Mr. Holloway, and here's a sad footnote to this story. Mr. Holloway is now facing charges because he reposted some of the photos, which in turn attached the names of some of these perpetrators, with some of them being minors. Now he is facing charges for putting them out there. So now that this is completely set up, SY, why don't you give me your thoughts on this one? Yeah, what the hell? Yeah.
Immediately it was just funny that the 300 kids trashed the house. It's sad now that only 3 kids showed up, because what does that say about your parents and responsibility when I'm giving your kids a chance to just kind of come clean. I'm not charging anybody with anything. Come help me clean up the mess that you made. Oh, yeah, good idea.
It was a combination of all kinds of ages and ethnicities.
Well,
the player, to look at him, you can't really he looks like he might be mixed.
Okay.
I'm not sure what he is. He looks like he might be mixed.
Now, we touched on the posting of minors in a previous show that somebody is now up against charges. So now that's too bad for him, because they fouled him.
Yeah, Brandy, what you think about this?
If I saw those kids on Twitter in my house, I go in there ready to wreck shop on everybody. I'm going to jail because you peed on my carpets. Really? What kind of house training do y'all have? It's some.
They in there doing drugs and smoking weed and all kinds of popping mollies and wilding out and putting it on social media, tearing up this man's house, 20,000. And I seen the video and footage of him in there trying to clean up, and it's a sad situation. Diva, what's your thoughts?
I always have follow-up questions.
Please, ask away. If I know, then I'll share. If I don't know, then...
Are we sure the son didn't have anything to do with this?
Apparently, the son...
They really
apparently, the son was not in town. He's a college student in a town other than where the house is. And from all indications, he had nothing to do with this.
And they broke in.
They broke into the house knowing who the guy was and knowing that he's the NFL guy with a ton of money and a nice house, and they broke into his house and tore it up. And I'll be honest with you, I understand where you're going, and I see why you're going there. We all seen Project X and movies like that where, the kid is there and then the party gets out of control, but you still are one of that 300. And if you one of those 300, you, like Brandy said, you peeing on carpets and putting out, weed roaches on people's couches and just acting a damn fool. I don't know. I don't know. Big Rule, it's about time to get your thoughts on this one, man. What you think, man?
First of all, those kids need to be drawn and quartered. Ooh. Second of all, if it was me, I got sued. Well, you know what? Last time I checked, the law states if your kid does some stuff, then it reflected on the parents. I would sue every kid I could identify, which means you would sue their parents, and then we could talk about this lawsuit that's on me.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Here, you can sue me, you can put me in jail for 30 days or whatever, but you know what? I'm going to break some of y'all. Y'all going to go bankrupt. Because, or better yet, somebody got to start snitching. Yeah. And you can say what you want about no snitching, but at that point in time, if my parents came to me and said, yeah, we can sue for $50,000, son, I think you need to start talking.
But here's the thing that you may not be considering, Rube. I want you to respond to this point. We know it's 300 kids, and most of them, by all accounts, have been identified. We know who they are, so it's not a situation of snitching. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you know who these 300 bastards are and 1% shows up, to help clean up the mess they made.
And the crazy part about the whole thing is, he chose, instead of suing these kids, he chose, hey, you just come help me clean up. We
took
good.
the high road.
Oh, ain't no high road no more.
Now, it's not always, I mean, I remember growing up and kids would be like, hey, come to this house at this address. And they didn't know that the person owns the place wasn't there. Right. So, I mean, I understand if the kids were like, you know what, I'm not going because I didn't know.
Right. No, I get it. But you know what? That's when the parents who knew that their kid was there, because I would venture to say that more than 1% of the parents knew that their kid was there, and at minimum to set a good example to say, you know what, you was part of this. You, whether you did one of those terrible things or not, you was there. I know if Mama J was part of this, her ass would be there. And not only would she be there, I would be there with her. I would be there with her helping this man clean up his house, because that's just how Pops J raised us. So,
but if they're from that neighborhood and they're of high influence like he is, more than likely they don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what? When they decide not to care, I bet you their parents care.
Yeah.
When you start suing parents, especially when I get lost, I get sued. Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
It's about to go down.
Ain't no high stepping Marcus J. We'll move on because we got a lot to get into and what the hell and a bunch of quick hits. Big Rube, I want you on in this one first. I'm a gamer. Are you a gamer? You play video games?
I am.
I am a gamer. I play video games. That's why you play video games? Brandy, do you play video games at all?
The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
You're up there
That's
with
the game of all time.
you're up there with Qbert and stuff. What about the Diva? Diva, do you play video games at all?
I used to play Mortal Kombat. I still have it in my home. So
Well, I'm gonna finish you. I'm gonna just grab you.
The finish moves you be doing them?
finish it.
Anybody in the room ever play Grand Theft Auto? Ever play Grand Theft Auto?
Yes, I played the one in Miami, I think it was.
Yeah, Vice City.
I played the first one.
Vice City is the one, Brandy, you're speaking of, and GTA. I think the first one was actually 3, if I'm not mistaken. I think they gave them funky numbers. I don't remember.
No, the first one was the first one.
So they actually.
Yeah, it's literally 5 out there.
Okay, because the first one on my radar was 3.
Yeah.
All right, I played 3. I played Vice City. I played Grand Theft Auto. I thought it was weird, but you know what? It was fun to play and all of that kind of stuff. Now, the reason why I bring it up now is GTA 5, Grand Theft Auto 5 just came out last week, and there's some issues with GTA 5. First of all, the story that I want to bring up, and I'm getting this from blackandbluedog.com, this is an 8-year-old who's playing Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4, not just 5, but I'm going to merge these two stories. He's playing it, he's loving the game. He's so into it, and he grabs his grandmother's gun and he shoots her in the back of the head and kills her.
Wow.
Because he saw it on the game. He's 8 years old. To me, an 8-year-old, you know better. You kind of know what you're doing. But he lives in a state where you can't charge them with that kind of crime until they're 14 years old. So he basically was released to his parents, and he basically, with all due respect to his age, got away with murder. And so I want y'all to kind of keep that in mind as I kind of address the next part. That was Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 5 came out last week, and I believe it was like Monday, and they sold something like 9 million copies in the first day of this game, which blew my mind when I played 3. We all know, like, video games that you play and you get beat up and you lose your power, and so you got to regain your power by whatever means necessary. You know how you regain power on Grand Theft Auto? You drive around town, you get yourself a prostitute, and you go in an alley and you see the car going, and that's how you get your power back.
I thought it was beating up people. Is that one of the older ones?
You can do that. You can get your power back by beating up people as well. And so that just gives you. It's fun. Yeah, it is kind of funny. It is kind of funny when you think of it. When you think of it in the sense that we're all adults. You know what I'm saying? We're all adults, and we have the mentality to know that it's just silliness. But this 8-year-old was playing the previous game, and he popped his grandma in the back of the head because he thought that that's what you do. One of the things that I want to get into about Grand Theft Auto 5 is that the language in this game is out of control. There's nudity in this game, there's vulgar language in this game, and there's situations in there where you got black men who refer to each other in the game directly face to face as the N-word. And anybody that knows me knows how I feel about that. So I got Grand Theft Auto sufficiently set up. Let's round table it. I'm sorry to use your phrase, Big Rube. Let's discuss it. Big Rube, you up first. What's up?
I mean, to me, I find it interesting and somewhat comical that they now have discovered that Grand Theft Auto is a bad game. You could do what you just said in Grand Theft Auto 1. It's not like they've changed anything. It's, hey, we got better graphics. Stuff looks more real life now. And you can do a couple more things. Now, you can do this in GTA 1. So, by the fact that this game is still being made, still doing the same things, all that stuff, it almost shocks me of the stupidity of us as Americans. Because they've been doing this this is the 5th time that you can go into a corner with a prostitute and get some energy back. This ain't the first time. This is the 5th time. So you didn't catch it the first couple times, and now you want to be mad? Man, don't talk to me.
No, I got you real quick. Kat, I got to give a shout out to Kaz before I get fussed at.
That's her game.
She has hit us up a couple of times. Kaz, I saw you the first time you said you was tuned in. I'm sorry we got distracted. What up, Kaz? She's saying what's up to everybody. And so peace to you, sis. That's why.
Yeah. I've never played the game. She plays the game.
Cass.
Yeah. My nephew plays the game. I don't like the game. The game is way past anything that I would play. But the 8-year-old, I don't know who bought that game for the 8-year-old. There are warnings on there. And if you just read the warnings, you would have known better for your 8-year-old. He should have something that helps him with reading and math. He needs some fun playing educational games and maybe one googly goo.
Right.
But the Grand Theft Auto.
But you know what's crazy about it? He had access to Grand Theft Auto, right? But he also had access to his grandmother's gun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something's wrong.
So Brandy, you know what trips me out about this? The fact that, like Ruben said, we've been seeing this. This is like the 5th time we've seen this with regards to this game. And every single generation of the game, it gets a little bit more out of control and outrageous, But I guess and again, in interest of full disclosure, I played 3 and I played Vice City, and I played them till the point where I got bored with them. And the whole beating up the old lady thing, it wasn't funny, but it was part of the game, so I kind of did it because I was playing the game.
But you thought it was funny when you was doing it?
Well, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I thought it was funny because in my mind, it's a game. But as you get older and as you get more, and I should say older, I mean I was in my 30s as I am now when I'm playing the game, but as you play these games and you get not just the games, but as you do anything, you get understanding, and as you get understanding, you get clarity. As you get clarity, you got a decision. Are you going to continue down this path or you not? So I made a decision. I enjoy playing Grand Theft Auto, but I made a decision that I was not going to play it anymore. I was going to stop playing it. And so as the new ones came out, I was like, I'm not going to buy these. I'm not going to play these. I'm not going to engage in conversations with people telling me how cool the game is because, while I was enjoying beating up the old lady in the video game, in my mind, I'm like, I'm raising a daughter, and if she happens upon, walks in the room and sees me playing this game, like, how am I going to explain that? And so that's part of the reason why I quit playing it. But when you lose me, black people, us, with this, the N-word is okay, you running out in the middle of the freaking night to stand online to buy a game where they calling you the N-word. They calling you the N-word in this game.
Was that known before the video game came out?
I don't know that it is, but it's known now.
Yeah.
It's known now.
And
so if you one of those people who happened upon that scene and you're a socially conscious minded person like we are, what you gonna do? If you're somebody who used the word and you don't care, then okay, I don't know that you can be helped. But if you're someone who's socially conscious, who is like, you know what, I don't use the N-word, I want the N-word used around me, and you didn't know when you bought the game, and you playing it, and all of a sudden you see the scene and they saying, what you gonna do then?
Taking it back?
I mean, that's what
you can't take it back. You can sell it.
I mean, you can
burn it.
You can figure out a way to get some kind of, you can recoup something. But I don't want to come off, Diva, as a hypocrite here. But I want to get you in on this one because for me, the big thing is the gratuitous violence in the game, the language in the game, and the fact that you can say what you want about how this is an adult game, but it's marketed to children because we all seen the commercials on television. Just like when we were kids, we used to see the commercials for cigarettes. You know what I'm saying? Cools and all that kind of stuff. So what's your thoughts on this?
You're about to be upset with me.
Okay.
I don't think the game people are at fault. I think that we have movies, we have music, we have video games, all with violence, all with the N-word, all with sex. Ban all this stuff. I think parents need to take a better accountability for their kids and what they do. Like you said, the gun should not have been accessible, and I'm big on gun control. Like, I don't believe people should have guns. You know what I'm saying? At all. I just wish nobody had guns. But I know people have to protect their homes, you know. But you got to put a gun in a safe place if you have kids. That's just the bottom line. And an 8-year-old being able to get to the gun, playing these crazy games, and you know he's not thinking like an adult, so he's not making good decisions. Like you said, if you're not clear and you don't have that wisdom, then you're not going to make good decisions. You're going to make decisions based on an 8-year-old's brain.
You know what? I'm not mad at you for that. You know what? Your perspective on that is not only spot on, but is highly appropriate for the situation. I didn't even think of it in that perspective, because you know, I'm one of those people who believes in free. Well, I don't believe anything. I know about free speech. You know, so when I listen to hip hop, I may not like what I'm hearing, but I know that they have the right to say what they want to say in the song. So, and I'm also one of those people who would defend, you know, John Singleton for Boys in the Hood and the Hughes Brothers for Menace to Society and movies like that. So you are absolutely 100% right in giving me the perspective. I hadn't even thought about that. So I appreciate that, Brandy.
But I was going to say, even I got caught up in the video game. You remember the Dave Chappelle show when he was actually doing it in real life, going down the steps and shooting somebody and stealing the car, and it was hilarious. But when I was playing the game, I actually found myself later on riding down the street wondering, I wonder if I could do
my God.
And that was just, you're looking at me kind of weird.
If I run him over, I get like 10 points.
We getting a hit in social media. Sabrina's saying that she's been playing it all weekend. The one thing that makes it okay in her eyes that she's grown. She doesn't have any kids, and her view her actions. And two, it's all fun as long as you're able to differentiate. Two, it's all good. Mass shootings happen before Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not that it's a game that's excess, that is available to kids, people that are capable of keeping things separated. They see in the world with most popular rap songs. So what's the difference? Don't make it more than it is. She's agreeing with the dating pool diva, and after hearing that perspective, I actually agree with you guys as well. So I will kind of shift my position on it and say, parents, if you're gonna let your 8-year-old listen to NWA, then go ahead and put Grand Theft Auto in their hand as well. Ain't no how
company's gonna do what makes them money anyway. That's what's selling for them.
I can dig it. Ain't no how Steppin with Marcus.